Hey, what's up guys, this is Tristan, and today I'm doing a story arc review of the One Piece arc, Enies Lobby. Now, I read this arc about 2 months ago, and that was around the same time I kind of stopped doing story arc reviews, but I'm probably going to be doing story arc reviews again, but just not really reviewing the smaller arcs. I'm probably only going to review the arcs that I want to talk about, or I may just combine the smaller arc views with the bigger arc views, and then just put it in one video. I'm not really sure, but anyways, let's get started. So this arc is essentially the second half of Water 7. It's pretty much the same arc of Water 7 actually, but it just takes place in a different location. It obviously takes place in Enies Lobby, not Water 7, so it's a different arc, but yeah, it's essentially the same villains, the same story pretty much. It's just a continuation of that. Now, this arc reminds me a little bit of the bond between Naruto and Sasuke in Naruto Shippuden, and I know I'm probably gonna get some hate for that, but what I mean by that is the Straw Hat crew at this current point in time and Nico Robin had a similar bond to Naruto and Sasuke throughout Naruto Shippuden, because in both of these bonds, it's essentially just a friend or friends chasing and trying to get back a different friend that doesn't really want to be chased in the first place, essentially. And with that being said, even though that's true from the surface, the Nico Robin and Straw Hat Crew bond is a lot more dynamic than the Naruto and Sasuke bond. I'm not really going to get into that too much, because that may be a video for another day, but yeah, that's just something I noticed while reading this arc. Now, some big things that happened in this arc were the power-ups, and what I mean by that is there was the Gorilla Arms thing that Zoro got. I'm pretty sure it was called Gorilla Arms. I think Sanji may have gotten a power-up. Not completely sure about that though. It's been like 2 months since I read this arc. Also, there was some big Luffy power-ups, Gear 2nd and Gear 3rd, happened in this arc. That was pretty badass, even though we didn't see too much of Gear 3rd. Now, another power-up that happened in this arc, probably one of my favorites, was the one where Chopper turned into that big monster. Now, this power-up was something that was interesting, but it wasn't really cool or badass or anything like that. It was actually kind of sad in a way. And what I mean by this is Chopper has pretty much been a strong character from the start, but we just haven't really been able to see him at full power because most of the time he's a coward. And when he finally became super powerful and he finally went full power, it's something that I didn't even really want to see, because he was just out of control powerful. And it was to the point where Chopper could have died and not have been able to get back to his current self, even though he did get back to normal. But yeah, that was pretty interesting. Now, probably the best thing in this arc were the villains. Like, holy shit. We had Kaku. I'm not gonna go over all the villains because there was quite a lot. But anyways, Kaku was one of my favorites. He was pretty badass, and I really like that scene where he ate the devil fruit, and it was hyped up that he was going to have this huge power-up and it was going to be really badass. And then when he finally got the power-up, and it was his first time using it in battle, he just turned into a giraffe. Like, that was just funny as hell, because it wasn't really anything that I would expect, but then it just happened, and it was funny as hell. It just took me by surprise. Also, probably my favorite One Piece villain, Rob Lucci, was in this arc, and he was just freaking badass. Like, he had the Jaguar fruit, and he was probably he was the strongest opponent for Luffy so far. He was definitely stronger than Eneru, for Luffy, because, wow, like, Luffy had to go gear 3rd on this guy just to beat him. Like, that was a pretty badass fight there. And also, Rob Lucci and Spondum are going to be in the upcoming One Piece film Gold movie, so I can't wait to see those characters. I'm actually going to be in Japan while that movie is in theaters, so hopefully if there's like some sort of foreign theater with subtitles, I can maybe watch that movie. I'm not really sure, there's probably not going to be, but fingers crossed. Now the last villain that I want to talk about is Spondum, and the funny thing about Spondum was he was probably one of the weakest villains that we've seen in One Piece so far. Like, he was probably weaker than a lot of the East Blue villains, and this was pretty surprising because, first of all, he was the leader of this big organization, CP9, and pretty much everyone else in the organization was more powerful than him, even though he was the leader, and he's in the Grand Line to begin with, so yeah, I think the only real reason he's at this position that he's in is because his dad was a pretty powerful villain too, so he kind of passed down this royalty, I guess. But either way, I feel like this didn't make Spondum a weak character. It almost made him a more dynamic character, because we haven't really seen such a weak character like him before, and he was only really powerful once he used his elephant fruit and used that sword, which was funny as hell, by the way. But either way, pretty badass character, funny as hell. Overall, this arc was just amazing. Definitely my favorite arc so far. I'm probably going to do like a top 10 or top 5 One Piece arcs, and then a top 10 One Piece villains at some point, once I'm more caught up with the series. Anyways, that's pretty much it for this video. I'd probably give this arc 9 out of 10, somewhere on the screen. I don't really know. Holy shit, this was a good arc. Make sure to click that subscribe button if you like this video. Leave a comment telling me what you liked, what I should do better next time, I guess. And that's pretty much it.